So hi, Will the Good Noise Podcast is here with Garrett Case. We're going to ask him some questions about his new EP, Semicolon, today. I'm going to start. What inspired you to start making music?
It was a lot of, essentially, I've always wanted to make music since I was a little kid. It was always a dream of mine. Recently, a lot of things have happened in my personal life where I've needed more of an outlet to create something that I think other people can relate to, while at the same time getting all these thoughts and like freakouts out of my system.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what is your writing process like?
Basically, it flops between weeks at a time and minutes. Usually, I will take days upon days to write a song, and I have a lot of friends who are fellow musicians, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I wrote 3 songs yesterday," and that baffles me. Like, it takes me so long to get these thoughts down onto paper, but then there are other days where I can just write a song in an hour out of nowhere.
Wow.
But it's a lot of sitting in my room, keeping myself, keeping myself by myself, and just trying to get the therapy from my head onto something coherent that other people can listen to.
All right, I get that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So as I said in the beginning, you dropped an EP named Semicolon. How do you feel with the response to that so far? And can you tell me what the name means?
So, the EP has been doing amazing. We've got over 300 streams. The first
wow.
song off of it, Next Nicotine. Yeah, man. First song off of it, Next Nicotine, already has over 100 of those streams. So I am beyond happy about the feedback from it. People are really excited to name their favorite songs off of it. As far as the meaning behind Semicolon, essentially, my great-great-grandfather came from Ireland. So I am like big into my Irish heritage. And a few years back, I was at a church camp church camp kids, where it's a blast, man. We actually had this one sermon during the week where our pastor was talking about his time in Ireland, and he would talk about this semicolon being a symbol for the people. In old Gaelic tradition, essentially, the semicolon was attributed not only to literature but to the phrase Ní mort gealtar, which from the Gaelic translates literally to "my story is not over."
Okay.
That is essentially the idea behind semicolon.
Wow.
This is a symbol of you are still alive, you still matter, you're still breathing, therefore you have something to do. You have something left. It got me out of a lot of dark places in my life when I just remembered that there's more to be done. There's more to this story. It's not a period, it's a semicolon.
Okay. I like
Wow. Okay. I didn't expect that. Okay. I just thought you were going to say, well, the semicolon looks cool, but man.
Yeah, I was just
right.
expecting him to be like, I got it off my keyboard. It was the first key I pressed. All right.
Exactly. I accidentally pressed it one day.
And then
Wow.
you just get a whole sermon language backstory.
I was like,
Exactly.
okay. Was not expecting
All
that.
right.
I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like, never mind.
Yeah. So, where was your headspace for this E EP?
It was honestly the first song off of the EP, Next Nicotine, was about this girl I dated last summer. Relationship went all kinds of not good, and I decided that fall to write a song about it. This was going to be released as a single. It was going to be released as its own thing. Then a lot of things went down on New Year's. my life kind of fell into pieces, into ruins, and I lost a lot of people. Basically, this was my way of coping with that, my way of writing music to try and make sense of everything. So the EP as a whole just goes through the thought process of this really bad thing happened to me, and I'm slowly building myself back up to be better. Things are not okay, but I'm going to keep working to try and make them some sort of okay.
Mm.
Okay.
The EP isn't essentially meant to be happy and uplifting, but it's supposed to, emphasize the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So when you're making music, what artists are your biggest inspirations or influences?
I will forever love 21 Pilots.
Bro,
Those boys,
let's go.
bro, those boys have saved my life time and time again, and they are the biggest inspiration for everything I do. They're the primary sound I try to mimic,
Mhm.
but they are so much their own thing that it's so hard to do.
Mhm.
But I go after them a lot. I go after artists like Youngblood and Grandson, and a little bit of My Chemical Romance, a little bit of that emo in there, just sprinkle on top, just the spice,
Just a little, a little drizzle on top. Yeah.
just a little drizzles.
All right.
All right. Good bands, great bands.
Yeah.
I'd
Good
say.
bands, great bands.
Is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening to the EP?
Like I said before, it's definitely if the EP lifts you up, hell yeah, that I'm so happy about that. If the EP makes you think, I'm so happy about that. There's no direct feeling I want anyone to feel, because in my mind, even though these are very very, especially Stay, the last song on the EP, is a very specific narrative that describes what's happened in my life in the past few years. Yeah, I think the EP is open to interpretation for anyone, for whatever it might mean for you. If this is uplifting, if this is introspective, that is the primary thing I guess I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mic's
Nice.
back. So I know you just dropped the EP, but do you have any other projects in the works?
There is and now I'm actually rethinking it, but there is, once we hit the 1 month of the EP, I plan to release an acoustic version of either Next Nicotine or Continuity Error.
Mhm.
Continuity Error has actually been getting less hype than I thought it would. It's my favorite song off the EP, but people are really out here loving Stay. And Next Nicotine is the most streamed one off the EP. So we'll see how it goes. But that's the plan for the 1 month. And then we are already in the works on, and I won't give away too much, but we are already in the works on a full-length album.
Oh.
Going to plan on about 10 songs. Half
Okay.
of them are written already.
Mm-hmm.
So the album is... It started as as a sequel to Semicolon, a sort of everything's great now, things are getting better, I'm feeling well, and then I realized that's not how it works. So the album is turning into very much of this is how I'm coping with life now, and I think it's going to really help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the ways that Semicolon introduced people to the kind of music I make, the kinds of thoughts I have, just a little bit, just a taste of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the album is going to, really help them relate and really help me reach out to them.
Mhm.
Because that's what I want to do with my music. As much as I want to be, big name, doing big shows, selling out stadiums, all I really want is to help other people and make them feel like their voice is heard, make them feel valid.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. All right. So where do you see the project in the next 5 years then?
So we are in New York City selling out all the stadium. No, that is not happening for forever. As much as I would love that. As much as I would love that. If a miracle comes along, but I have no intention of slowing down. I've got a lot of stories to tell, and like I said, I just want to help people. If I get big, great. But the intention of Semicolon, the intention of the music I write is not to, put myself on this pedestal, but more just build a community. The bastard sons is the term I like to use from Continuity Error, that's who we are. That's who we fit in as. And I love that.
All right. Love to see it. So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
My last meal. Ooh. Okay. We've got a steak, medium rare, or medium rare. That words. Medium rare steak, and with a drink. There is this. I have this favorite beer. And it's a Cleveland brewery too. So it's a bumbleberry fathead. It's honey and blueberry, and it's amazing. Now I'm thirsty. Shane, I blame you.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault.
It's all my fault.
Poor Shane.
Hell.
Poor Shane.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh, I forgot about this question. I'll be real. I was listening through tons and tons of other interviews because I was like, I gotta be ready. I gotta know all my answers off the top of my head. I completely forgot about this question.
Bruh, this is the most important question. Actually,
Bruh. You and Gravity Falls is
solid.
wild. Gravity Falls is wild. All that whole vibe of just out in the woods, dealing with demons, dealing with monsters, dealing with punk ass gnomes. That would be fun as hell. That honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Yeah. So I have the honor of asking the most important question. What is your favorite color?
You're gonna hate me. Black.
I agree.
Black goes with everything, and anyone who thinks that's like edgy or emo is stupid, because it goes with everything, and they can fight me on it.
All right.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you would like to plug?
Instagram is at Garrett Case. Twitter is at Real Garrett Case. And just go listen to the EP. Listen to Spotify, iTunes, whatever you got. Just vibe to it. It's a vibe.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Garrett Case, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.